So it's so interesting I'm talking to somebody who is a professional dancer because I don't know how to dance. I mean, I'm probably the worst dancer ever. But do you think everybody can learn how to dance or can know how to dance?
I think so. I think so. My daughter is a very bad dancer,
Oh, I see.
but sometimes when she puts her head down and lets me teach her, she picks up the rhythm. So I believe if my daughter can learn, then I've taken a lot of foreigners. I mean, there's this Indian lady. I mean, by the time we started giving her some dance lessons, became so good. So I think
Wow.
most people can learn.
So if you were to teach dance, like wanted to teach, what would be like the first principle or the first step that you teach people to learn reading?
If you don't have rhythm at all, I will
Yes.
just teach you 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, go 2, 3, just for you to hear the beat.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can't hear the beat, so
Yes.
get you to listen and hear the beat.
Okay. So, with your experience as a dancer, would you say that dancers are getting their flowers? Especially because I feel like dancing is so important to music and to how people experience music. So, would you say that dancers get their flowers enough?
I think now, when I started, and let me even start from before me, people that I admired and I looked up to in those days did not get, like I said, there was no respect for dancers.
Yeah.
Then we now came, the respect started to grow, and then now there are people like Kafi,
Yeah.
Down Troop, and all these dance troops, Shegun Adefila, who have now given dancing a leg to stand on, and the respect for dancers have grown, and I'm sure within the next 5, 10 years, they will be where they should be. Because in America, dancers are very respected.
Yeah. But then when it comes to the economic side of it, do you think that, sometimes when people say, oh, they want to become dancers, it feels like it's a long stretch in terms of how to earn from it?
Remember that 20 years ago, you couldn't make money as a musician.
Okay.
But look at the musicians today, they are richer than some politicians. So I think that it's everybody will get there. Yeah, I think it's just dedication, and it's look, I know dancers of positive force. They've built their houses, they have their cars. So there's maybe you will not become a millionaire, but you will live. Eventually, there will be dancers that will become millionaires, I believe.
So how did you working on your view come about?
I got a phone call from Mr. Lukman Musa, who said, "Oh, he wants me to do this TV program." He told me about the TV program. Would I come in the next day? So I said, "Oh, I'm not doing anything. I will, on my way from VI, I will stop by." And I stopped by. I spoke to him. I spoke to Murayo, and they said, "Oh, they will call me when we're having." So, and that's how. This was like January, and the program started in May.
Oh wow. So in what ways have Felabration surprised you? Because I know that when you started, you just wanted to celebrate your father and things that you discussed. You said you wanted to you had been discussing about it before his demise.
No.
Okay.
When he died,
Yeah.
I thought of celebrating him because I think he died too young. He was only 58, and he loved to celebrate his birthdays. And he died a year short of his 59th, 60th birthday. He died at 58, and he had already been planning for his 60th birthday the next year. When I'm 60, which I am already, and I'm past,
Thank God.
we thank God. He was planning for his 60th, and my father loved to celebrate his birthdays. So I think that was the way I would honor him. I didn't want to celebrate his death. I wanted to celebrate his birth because he loved to celebrate his birth. And I think he was an important person in Nigeria, in the world. So what better way to keep him alive
Yeah.
than to celebrate his birthdays? So at that time, I was only thinking of a one-day festival, but it has become a 7-day festival. And in fact, Sometimes it's 2-3 weeks because we are doing events 2-3 weeks before the actual week of celebration. So in that way, I have the committee of celebration to thank because everybody has the role to play in celebration. So, and we don't make money from it. So the dedication that everybody has shown has been fantastic for me, and that's the way it has surprised me. But that the celebration has lasted is not a surprise because
Okay.
that's what I wanted. But that it has surpassed 2 days.
Then in terms of size, the way everybody wants to be a part of it, do you think that surprised you or it was expected?
I worked towards
Oh,
that's what I wanted. So, but now it's celebrated worldwide.
yeah.
That is a good thing.
So it's your brainchild, and that's why I'm really focusing on it.
I know. And yes, it's my brainchild, and yes, I love it. And what I would want from it is for the younger people to take it up when I retire, because I'm 62 now. I mean, when Felabration started, I would walk around this whole place to make sure every cars are intact, everything, 3-4 times a night. Now, if I do it once a night, I'm grateful. So the older you get, the less energy you have. So I'm hoping that the young people with integrity will come up and take it from me.
So how aligned are you with the vision when you started now? Like how aligned, you had a vision when you wanted to start. So and then I know that sometimes vision transitions or it changes. So how aligned is your vision from when you started up until now?
That I think it's still following my vision. Yeah, it hasn't left my vision. We are celebrating the life and times of Fela. There are a lot more elements in it now. There's the art competition, there's the dance, there's the latest one is the dress Fela competition. So that one you dress Fela, if Fela of before, Fela of now, Fela of the future, and Fela if he were a woman.
Yeah, that's great.
So that is, so there are different elements that have been added that I love, and
I feel like if Fela were a woman, she would dress like you. So, if you had the opportunity for one last performance, would you take it? And with who? Like, in what situation would you perform?
that is praying that I don't fall down on the stage.
You will not. So let's say you will not fall down. You had the strength, everything.
I would go back to positive force and dance with positive force.
Okay, that's great. So, you've told your father's stories so many times. Do you think that you've told your own story enough?
I don't know. That's the truth. I don't know if I've told my story enough. I probably haven't. But then, if you know me as a person, I'm not someone that talks about myself a lot. So I don't even talk about my father either unless you pay me money.
So, I mean, maybe in interviews like this, where people are asking you.
Even my father, if you talk about my father, I'm not be looking at you because I need the money. But I always say, if you want to know about my father, he's just down the road. You can go and meet him. But I don't really like to talk about myself. I hope that people will talk about me later.
So what would you like to be remembered for then?
For one of the ladies that brought dance to the fore.
So, and what are some of the things that you have done, maybe that you've never had a chance to talk about, like your own story, maybe something that happened to you, something you did, something you achieved that you probably haven't spoken about before, or maybe you've spoken about it, but you still want to talk about it again?
Okay, like we used to do a para soccer. These physically challenged boys on
inside SAC.
No, on the skateboards.
Okay, yeah.
The shrine had a team of, and we used to have this soccer tournaments every year that was financed by the shrine and other offices like Total Consult that were. So I thought it was a really great It wasn't my brainchild, but we participated and we actually won a cup once. And it was very, very, I loved it because we gave those boys a chance, to show their talents, and they had that talent. And we don't get to talk about it much. We don't do it anymore because we couldn't afford to finance it, and we didn't have anybody to come on board and finance it for us. We went to all the multinationals. They were like, and then it hasn't died because we still look after the teams. We still look after the boys. I got them in a program recently where they learned how to sew. I was really, really happy about that. So even if they're not doing para soccer, they're doing something else. So, because I hate begging. There's no need to beg. You can work, so, and they don't beg, they work. And I love that about them.
So you pride yourself as an African woman who loves her heritage, especially. It's always glaring, dressing, carriage, and everything, even when you talk. So what do you think the entertainment industry is missing when it comes to supporting our identity and culture?
I think we want to be like Americans too much. That's what I think. I think we, the women, we're not proud of our hair. We don't weave our hair. We wear wigs and we do like Oyibo. But I just feel that we're not exporting. Like me, when I go abroad, this is how I dress.
Yeah.
I dress in my traditional African outfits. Here, I can wear Oyibo. I don't mind. But I'm as an ambassador of, I feel that every African that leaves the shores of this country is an ambassador for their country. So I think that it is very important that we carry that and showcase who we are, so that they start to respect us for who we are and what we do, not that we are trying to emulate them.
Yeah.
One of the things that made my father so special, and my brothers who have continued, and even Madi who is continuing, is the fact that it's their heritage. They are taking Africa to the world. They're not taking America to America. They're taking Africa to America, Africa to Europe. And I think that is very important, that Africans start to take Africa and be proud of who they are as Africans. And I'm not exonerating myself. We're all to blame. To the world.
So I think because the day I thought about something. I realized that when artists are alive, sometimes it feels like, because I watched your interview where you said while you were growing up you were not rich, like your father wasn't rich, and it's so profound.
I'm still not rich. Continue.
So that artists are not rich when they're alive, but the legacy that he left behind by being who he is, even though it was the most difficult thing at the time, I think it surpasses any amount of money that he could have made. What do you think about that?
I think integrity is very important, and Fela was not a perfect person, but he did not lie about who he was. So it allowed his legacy. That is why we can still be celebrating him. That is why Fela has been dead 26 years. We are still talking about him as if, how old are you?
I'm 32. So
you see, you are like 8.
Yes, when he died, I remember.
Oh, 6 when he died. Yeah, he was 6 when he died.
Yes.
So you couldn't have known him.
Nah, I didn't.
But you are still talking about him today. So that is a strong legacy.
Yeah.
And I think that that is what we should try to do. Try and remember that it's not me now, it's me in the future. My children will be proud of who I am or who I was. I think that is very important. And so look, when my father was alive, people didn't want to be my friend. Fela's daughter. I know.
I watched that.
I didn't want to. But today, when I go anywhere and I say, oh, my name is Yeni Kuti, you see the difference. That's legacy. And that is what I think most people should strive towards.
So what would you say to young women who are coming up in the entertainment industry now?
Be you. Do you. It's important. Don't Forget about America. Forget about do you be African? Be proud of who you are. I know it's going to be difficult because when I talk about wigs, everybody.
Well, I mean, your hair is fabulous, so maybe that's why.
Look, my hair is all white, so I put on scarves because Africans, we have the talent of scarf, putting on scarf that makes us look beautiful. We don't have to be looking like Oyibo all the time now.
Yeah.
Oyibo, they have aquiline nose, thin lips, so that hair is made for that face. We have broad nose, thick lips, and then we now put on Oyibo hair, looking like caricature.
But so finally, just last question, your style. Like, what is the most important thing to you about yours? I know it's the African culture. What do you consider most when you want to, say, make an outfit?
I want to look good. I want to look good and I want to portray who I am as an African woman. And different things can inspire me. As when I give my clothes to the tailor, maybe I've seen a box and the box inspired me and I say, look, oh, this is what I want. And so it's just about looking good and being proud of who I am.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am.